Life after death, in another world, or a repetition of this life, but this time in a different form and new conditions. When we think about death, an unconscious fear of non-existence and the destruction of our entire human existence envelopes us. But is this fear logical? Are we supposed to go into non-existence and nothingness with death? Philosophers and spiritual teachers give a negative answer to this question. They believe that non-existence and nothingness do not have an identity of their own, and we never exist in non-existence to return to that realm. Instead, they believe that we are created from existence, and existence can never turn into non-existence and nothingness. Even evidence for the correctness of this logical hypothesis might be found in the physical world. A place where Albert Einstein, the genius of the 20th century, expressed the law of the conservation of mass and energy and said that matter does not disappear but can transform into energy by changing its form. Similarly, energy does not disappear but ultimately transforms into matter. Now that we understand that we do not cease to exist and will not go into non-existence, what kind of world are we supposed to experience after death? In this video, we want to delve into reincarnation. We want to see what, according to the beliefs of Eastern religions and mysticism, we are supposed to experience after death. Should we come back to this world and complete our experiences? Are we supposed to settle our cosmic accounts under the law of karma and then go to the next world as a free spirit? Follow this video to the end. We look into the depths of everything on the Hidden Secrets channel, bringing out questions that most of us ask ourselves in solitude, and perhaps we don't have answers to them. We have started a journey here, a journey to find answers to our questions. If you also want to be aware of this journey, stay with us, subscribe to the Hidden Secrets channel, and hit the bell icon. Life after death in Hinduism. The cycle of reincarnation and liberation. Hinduism, one of the oldest religions in the world, offers a unique perspective on life after death. This belief system, rooted in the concept of reincarnation, defines the cyclical nature of existence and the pursuit of spiritual liberation. Here, we attempt to explain it in simple terms. Samsara, the cycle of reincarnation. The core of Hindu thought is the belief in samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. The belief is that individuals go through countless lifetimes, and based on their actions in previous lives, they move through various forms of existence. The samsara cycle, the cycle of repeated births and deaths, is guided by karma. But what does this mean? It means that our reincarnations, from the perspective of Hinduism, depend on what we did in our previous lives and what positive or negative changes we brought to the world. Karma, the law of consequences. From the Hindu perspective, karma plays a fundamental role in shaping the human journey through successive cycles of death and life. Good actions lead to positive karma, while negative actions lead to negative karma. Accumulated karma affects the individual's future life, determining factors such as social status, wealth, health, and living conditions. This framework shows that having an ethical life with the least amount of negative karma can make future human lives better and more beautiful and can contribute significantly to liberation from this cycle. Moksha, liberation from samsara. Hinduism believes that the ultimate goal of life is to achieve moksha, which means liberation from the cycle of samsara. Achieving moksha involves freeing oneself from the cycle of birth and death and merging the individual soul, Atman, with the universal soul, Brahman. Moksha signifies connecting with the divine or the ultimate state of eternal bliss, knowledge, and unity. But how can one achieve this liberation and unity? Paths to liberation: karma, bhakti, and jnana yoga. Hinduism offers various paths to achieve moksha, catering to the diversity of ethics and human inclinations. The first path, karma yoga, emphasizes selfless acts and service to others as a means of purifying the soul. Bhakti yoga, the second path, focuses on devotion and surrender to a personal deity. This path creates a deep spiritual connection for individuals. Finally, the third path, jnana yoga, is the path of knowledge. It involves self-inquiry and understanding the true nature of what we are experiencing as reality. But how is life after death described in Buddhism? What differences exist between Hinduism and Buddhism? Which one is closer to the truth? Life after death in Buddhism. The search for nirvana. While Buddhism shares common elements with Hinduism, it presents distinct views on life after death. Buddhism teaches the concepts of reincarnation, meaning repeated births, and karma, but its ultimate goal is different. But what is the goal? In Buddhism, the primary goal is to attain nirvana, meaning liberation from suffering and desire. A state where there is no loss of existence and no craving for acquisition. Reincarnation and karma in Buddhism. Buddhists, like Hindus, believe in the cycle of rebirth. The quality of a person's actions and intentions constitutes their karma, and karma influences their future life. Negative karma perpetuates the cycle of imperfect life, meaning suffering, while positive karma can lead to a more desirable rebirth. Nirvana, liberation from suffering. The ultimate goal in Buddhism is achieving nirvana, signifying freedom from the cycle of suffering and desire. Nirvana denotes attaining inner peace, enlightenment, and the cessation of cravings. A state of infinite compassion and wisdom. But what teachings has Buddha given to achieve nirvana? The Eightfold Path, a way to nirvana. Buddhists follow the Eightfold Path to reach nirvana, serving as a guide for their ethical and mental growth. This path includes principles such as right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, and right mindfulness, among others. Walking this path leads to the gradual cessation of desire and suffering, ultimately reaching its peak and freeing the soul. In this video and the previous ones, we discussed the perspectives of various religions, mysticisms, and beliefs regarding life after death and the purpose of this life in general. In this video, we saw that Hinduism and Buddhism have distinct yet interconnected perspectives on life after death. Samsara and moksha in Hinduism emphasize the cyclical nature of life and the pursuit of spiritual liberation. In contrast, reincarnation and nirvana in Buddhism focus on the efforts to liberate oneself from the cycle of suffering and desire. Many believe that these spiritual systems are ultimately common and speak entirely of the same thing but in different languages. Should we liberate ourselves from the suffering of living in this world by leading an ethical and righteous life?